Thank you for staying with us. Let's get into the news now. And in our first story, Chief Executive of the Minerals Commission, Martin Kwekweyisi, says the outlawed legal small-scale mining enterprise cannot be defeated overnight. Mr. Oyisi believes that most of the illegal miners operate in hard-to-reach areas, making it nearly impossible for law enforcers to effect any arrest. He's been speaking at the ongoing workshop on artisanal small-scale mining here in Accra.
If you ask me, as the head of the regulatory body, what will I mention as number one when it comes to ASM? I'll tell you, getting mineralized areas for them to work. If it's a matter of putting them in some of these so-called blockade areas, or what we call areas designated for small-scale mining, I'll look into the face of my minister, he knows, and tell him, and I've told him before, Minister, will have solved small-scale mining in Ghana. We'll have solved all these issues. Because we have blocked out several thousands of small-scale, several thousand square kilometers for small-scale mining. By and large, these are kind of things that we are trying to do. Now, the community mining, we don't give them any different type of authorization. It's still a small-scale license. The fundamental difference is that as much as possible, we try to encourage many of the people to do it in the community. And you don't need to come from the community to apply. Chiefs can lead it, or even a group of sponsors can go and talk to the community. What is important is that you employ a lot of people from the community. Like the one we did on Friday, which was launched by the minister, we are targeting anything between 1,000 and 2,000 people to be employed. So we hope that once we do these things properly, very well, we'll be in a position to improve the situation. Anybody who tells you that Galamsey can end overnight is deceiving you, because it is not an easy thing. Some of the areas are even inaccessible. If you know very well, vehicles can't even go there. They walk and go deep inside the forest or inside the bush to go and do the illegal mining. So it will take some time to get a full grasp on the issue.
Well, also at the same event was Lands and Natural Resources Minister Samuel Abujinapo, who reiterated government's commitment to sanitizing the mining sector.
Lately, we have had to adopt more stringent measures, including the declaration of river bodies as red zones for mining, the ban on recognizance, prospecting, and/or exploration in forest reserves, the launch of Operation Hall 2 to rid our river bodies and forest reserves of illegal mining activities, the introduction of speed boats and river guards to patrol and protect our river bodies, ban on the manufacture, sale, and/or use of floating platforms known as champagne, which are used in the pollution of the river bodies, and the enhancement of the punishment regime for persons involved in illegal mining. While taking these preventive measures, in partnership with the Ghana National Association of Small-Scale Miners, we launched the Responsible Small-Scale Miners Award Scheme to recognize and reward small-scale miners who are committed to responsible and sustainable mining practices. And through the National Landscape Restoration and Small-Scale Mining Project, we are strengthening integrated natural resource management and enhanced governance in small-scale mining. Ladies and gentlemen, these measures undoubtedly have yielded some results. However, we still have more to do to come to grips with this canker of illegal small-scale mining. We recognize the complexities involved in this fight and the recalcitrant nature of the cartels involved, largely because of the huge sums of money involved in this enterprise. But we are committed to work with all stakeholders, including the World Gold Council, to ensure that we build a responsible, sustainable, and environmentally sound small-scale mining industry here in Ghana.
Well, we will not be shortchanged. What is rightly ours, we will have to get it. Those are the words of Technical Universities Teachers Association of Ghana, TUTAG, to government as its members demand immediate implementation of conditions of service and a review of fuel and car maintenance allowances. The teachers boycotted classes on Monday after a strike declaration on Friday. In an interview with Love News, President of TUTAG, Professor Collins Amayao, said the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission had failed to expedite processes to approve the negotiated internally generated funds related conditions of service to be included in the 2023 budget. Love FM's Emmanuel Bright Kweku has more in this report.
10 days ago, leadership of the Technical University Teachers Association of Ghana served notice to lay down their tools after the government's failure to honor its codified conditions of service, which have been outstanding since 2016. However, according to the association, government has turned a deaf ear to its demands, despite the 10-day ultimatum. The association says the Ministry of Finance and the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission is failing to heed to directives by the National Labour Commission to approve documents to ensure payment of internally generated funds. Professor Colin Samayao is National President of TUTAG.
The condition of service has two legs. One is payroll related, which is paid by government, and one is IGF, paid internally by the various universities. Because of the delay, the issue had to go to the National Labour Commission, which is just like a high court. And the National Labour Commission ruled that government should take the necessary steps to approve the document to ensure that those that have financial implications are captured in the budget. Okay, as we speak, most of the institutions have finished preparing their budget. So when will the approval come, and when will it be captured in the budget? And you agree with me that if an item is not captured in the budget, there's no way payment can be effected.
Professor Amayao says the delay in the 2023 budget reading gives the state agencies ample time to expedite processes for the approval of the documents for consideration in the budget.
They should take the necessary steps to have it approved before budgets are prepared, okay, to ensure that payment can start in January 2023. But it's been dragging. We don't know the motivation. And luckily for us, the budget has not been read. But in the number scheme of things, budget should have been read around 15th of November. You understand? So, fortunately for us, we still have some time. So we think that this is a time to push to ensure that we get approval for it to be captured in the budget.
Well, we'll also have an extensive conversation with Professor Amayao later on the show. And Allied Health Professionals Council has revealed that the industry has been infiltrated by quacks inundating the system with fraudulent activities. The council attributes the seemingly unending actions of these medical fraudsters to the non-enforcement of laws and the lack of prosecution against such acts. There is more in this report.
Begin at the 9th induction and oath swearing ceremony of Allied Health Professional Interns in Kumasi, Deputy Registrar of the Council bemoaned the inactions of law enforcement agencies. Daniel Atanyako is worried reported cases of quacks have not seen adequate punitive actions. He, however, urged the public to report persons found culpable for swift action.
Another disturbing issue facing the allied health industry is the canker of quacks who have invaded the health delivery fraternity. The harm being committed by these people cannot be underestimated. The Council, with the total support of the Governing Board and the Health Intelligence Unit of the Ministry of Health, have been trying to weed out the charlatans from our society. Unfortunately, however, the expected support from law enforcement agencies have not helped much to deal with the issue. Several cases reported to the police across the country appear dead for lack of prosecution. A humble appeal is for the necessary support in this fight, by swiftly dealing with the offenders to protect the unsuspecting members of the society from these criminals.
The ceremony saw Allied Health graduates with diploma in dispensing optics, community mental health, disease control and health promotion, among other disciplines, inducted into their one-year mandatory internship beginning in December. Daniel Atanyako also called on the Ministry of Health to urgently support the quest to replace some 4-year bachelor programs with 6-year professional doctorates.
The Ghana government, through the Ministry of Health, has approved these programs developed by the West African Health Organization. The introduction of
A representative from the Ashanti Regional Coordinating Council, Dorcas Beidou, assured of government's commitment to reduce the number of unemployed allied health professionals through recruitment under its Agenda 111 project.
The completion of these projects will automatically lead to the recruitment of more health professionals to provide services in these facilities. Owing to the current economic hardship across the globe, a huge strain is placed on government, and as a result, stakeholders across all sectors are encouraged to partner government in building a stable economy for all of us all.
For Joy News, Emmanuel Bright-Kweku reporting.
Now, the Global Communities Project has declared some 372 communities in the northern region open defecation free. The group has also constructed more than 19,000 toilets across the targeted regions to help other communities become OD free. Martina Bugri now reports.
The country director of Global Communities, Alberto Weldy, who disclosed this in a speech read on his behalf by a senior behavior integration specialist at Global Communities, Edward Thompson, at this year's World Toilet Day in Yendi, said, despite the gains made, the northern region still has a long way to go in attaining the safe, sustainable development goal of ensuring availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all by 2030.
Levels as well. Despite all these achievements, we still have a long way to go in attaining the sustainable goal of ensuring availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all by the year 2030. It is no coincidence that this year's theme for the World Toilet Day speaks to both sanitation and water. That is sanitation and groundwater, and the campaign message being making the invisible visible. In our quest to improve sanitation in the shortest possible time, let us not lose sight of the adverse effect of our actions that our actions can have on groundwater if strict measures are not taken.
The municipal chief executive for Yendi, Alhaji Ahmed Yusuf, said the selection of Yendi to host this year's World Toilet Day is appropriate because Yendi is among the hosts of 12 MMDAs nationwide selected to benefit from the Sustainable Fecal Sludge Management for Urban Center project. He noted that the Assembly has set a deadline of June 2023 for every household to own a toilet or be prosecuted.
Because the municipality is among 12 MMDAs nationwide selected to benefit from the Sustainable Fecal Sludge Management for Urban Centers project, which is to be funded by the African Development Bank and implemented by the Ministry of Sanitation and Water Resources. By the design of the project, treatment plants will be constructed and pipes connected to toilets in individual homes to collect the plant. This is then treated and turned into composite fertilizer.
The overlord of Gabon, His Royal Majesty Yana Abukari II, in a speech read on his behalf, said he and his kinsmen will support any action that will help ensure clean environment in his kingdom.
I wish to give an assurance to government and the organizers of this program about our desire to support all steps that are initiated towards ending open defecation in this kingdom. And
the theme for the day was sustainable and groundwater, making the invisible visible.
Well, last week, the special committee set up by Parliament to consider the minority's motion of censure against Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta began sitting. But even in those heated exchanges, there were things to laugh about. Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Kweku Asante captures those moments in this report.
Times are hard. Even Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, who is blamed for the current economic crisis, admits to this. with the parliamentary process seeking to remove him underway. The special committee set up by the Speaker has been hearing from witnesses. With such a serious business that could end the political career of the minister, there has still been moments of jokes and laughter with co-chair of the committee, Adansi Asokwa MP, Katie Hammond, the center of most of such encounters. The minority leader had claimed the NDC's numbers in parliament were not being respected. This is what Katie Hammond had to say in response.
We are here because of the numbers that he said we are not respected. If we had proper numbers, you think we'll be sitting here, I'll be sweating like this. So what do you mean by we don't respect your numbers?
You will recall the contentious matter of haircuts or no haircuts as Ghana seeks to restructure its debts. Listen to this banter where Katie Hammond says he doesn't need a haircut because God is his barber.
I'm not sure the president was advised properly to have been categorical that there will be no haircut. Has there been a haircut? Whatever that means. If there is tomorrow, my God is my barber. Nobody's cutting my hair. You have no hair for a cut. So which one is that? Yours, you fit as guy and pay something.
But between the two co-chairs of the committee, Katie Hammond and Dominic Ayine, who has been at the bar for a longer period.
Well, yes, co-chair. Yeah, co-senior chair.
Okay, well, you are my senior in parliament, but you are my junior at the bar.
Also. When were you called to the bar?
I was called to the bar in October 1995.
And you call yourself a senior? I was called to the Bar of England and Wales in November 1991.
Well, an English lawyer has no license to practice in Ghana.
Listen to him. I was exempted from the whatever bar here and granted my exemption to practice at the Bar of Ghana. What are you talking about?
When were you called to the Bar of Ghana?
I didn't know. He said 1991, 1996?
1995.
Well, you said 1995. I was granted exemptions in Ghana in 1997. You don't take me for a baby. 1991, where was he?
So you are 2 years my junior.
You are out of order. Completely out of order.
Katie Hammond also wants Dr. Kesela Tuforsen to shut up when he is speaking.
Because you keep interjecting me.
Since when did you become kind of anxious about me?
I know because you are.
Yeah, so Uncle talks, you shut up, isn't it? Yeah.
Minority Leader Haruna Idrisu also had a proverb for the committee.
You know, this morning when I arrived, Chairman, I shared a proverb with you and Honorable Anyimedu. I said, if you are pounding fufu for a blind man, the best way to assure the blind man that you are not eating the fufu is to be whistling. You have to be whistling whilst you are pounding. Is the city crash or not crash? We have done our whistling.
As the committee ended its work and co-chair Katie Hammond introduced guests, he refused to introduce one notable minister.
I expect the committee to take parliamentary notice of my name and constituency. Of course.
Even with these light moments, the country awaits the verdict of Parliament on the embattled Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, who is blamed for the sorry state of the economy.
And then, Finance Minister, you remember when you started owing certain words, I told you that don't do it because the cataclysm is mine. And then the apocalyptic is Mr. Apocalyptic. He's here. So he's here. So I think yours is the eco space, isn't it? Ecosystem. You can own your ecosystem.
And on that hilarious note, we wrap up the news this morning. But up next, we delve into the papers for you. Do stay with us for the news review.